an exciting day here at LineStar as we unveil a new tool. Alongside Tyler Weeman, I'm Shannon Somerville, and we are so excited to be able to unveil the new best ball rankings on the LineStar app today. Tyler, this was an exciting day and something that you put a lot of work into and have been advocating for a while now. So how good does it feel to finally have some rankings on the site that are live right now?
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I think the tool is pretty fun to use and can really kind of teach you a lot about the best ball landscape as a whole. And let's get into it.
Yeah, so today's show, we're going to be walking you through the tool, the rankings, and Tyler's going to be showing you all the things that you need to know to take advantage of this. And hey, best ball, if you don't play it already, make sure you get into some drafts. It's so much fun. Basically fantasy football without the sometimes tedious task of every week kind of putting your roster together. So if you haven't already, check out Underdog Fantasy, hop into a best ball draft. But I think, Tyler, this can also help even season-long fantasy players who are getting ready for their drafts as well. So it's multi-purpose, and basically we're just excited that NFL is just around the corner, and finally we've got some tools to be able to help you out and maximize those best ball drafts as well. So again, if you don't have Underdog Fantasy, download it, use the promo code LineStar for a deposit match plus 1 free month of LineStar. So if you've been on the fence about joining LineStar, that's a great way to utilize the tool and get 1 free month for it. So take advantage of that deal. And before we get into our rankings, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and let's get into the best ball rankings. So pulling up the LineStar app on our desktop computer, linestarapp.com, you can see a new tab there, best ball, right at the top. So let's click on that and hop on in. And Tyler's going to walk us through the features that he thinks are most important for you to know about as we head into best ball season, NFL season right around the corner. So Tyler, how have you been using this tool to your advantage?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. First of all, let's start on this projection page here. And if you tap the adjustments little tab, what will pop up is a bunch of different adjustments you can make to our rankings. Now, there's the rookie adjustments slider, and what you can see at the bottom of the page, every time you adjust one, the ranks, change a little bit. So the rookie adjustment is boosting the rookies that are in play so far this year. So the reason for that is because most of the time rookies production comes towards the end of the year. So their season-long projection doesn't look great. However, because their projection comes later in the season, it is a little bit more beneficial. So you may want to boost that projection a little bit to get more rookies in your set of lineups. Next, we have the injury likelihood. Now, this one is interesting because, there are some players who have been just a little more prone to injury or positions like a running back. And what this is going to do is this is going to push down some of the starters and pull up their backups.
That's so interesting. Right as you said that, I noticed Christian McCaffrey dropping with as we toggle that one tab. So just a little example there.
Yeah, and that will pull up Eli Mitchell and other backups. The interesting thing for that is if you just go on a projection basis, the rankings look way off. Like the backup running backs would be way, way back. Whereas if there is an injury to the starter, then that backup running back's projection absolutely skyrockets like no other position in football. So to account for that, we have that injury, likelihood and injury tab, so we can bring up some of those backups.
And then the other one is the playoffs, correct?
Yeah. So with this, we have also, which we will get into a little bit later, is the playoff heat map. And by boosting the playoff projection, what that is doing is it's bringing up the teams which have the best playoff schedules.
Got it. Yep.
And then lastly, the team projections or team adjustments. If there are certain teams you like and you're just not getting enough of them, or you just don't think they're high enough in the projections, you can boost certain teams so they pop up a little bit more in the rankings list. So essentially, all of this is just letting you make your own rankings using our projection, data and set.
Awesome. So, from your standpoint, is this always changing for you for each draft that you take part in best ball, or do you have any settings that you like to keep at a certain level? Like, do you have any presets that this is my go-to? I'm always going to be at a 5 for rookie adjustments, or anything that you think, or is this all just very personalized based on the individual?
I think that it is personalized based on the individual. For me personally, I want to boost the injury likelihood a little bit, and I want to boost rookie adjustments. The playoff one, I kind of go back and forth with. I do like to favor certain teams in the playoffs. Like the 49ers just have such a good schedule in the playoffs that I definitely want some of them, and I want more of them than the field is getting. So I don't mind doing some playoff push, but I don't want to go overboard with it. So, I have like 30% of the 49ers come, close of the slate. So that one I'll toggle with a little bit throughout the season or the off season. But I think rookies and injury is pretty much going to stay there for me.
All right. So some great tools to be able to personalize it to your liking as you head into your best ball drafts. And to your point, you kind of also have to take into account what you already have in best ball and how many drafts you've taken part in. And that's where I think this is going to come in so handy, is the team adjustments individually, boosting them to get more of certain stacks that you want. I think that's such a cool feature of our rankings, and being able to personalize it is going to be so helpful in those best ball drafts where you're also trying to get the best players projected, but also you want to be a little bit different than the field and try to maximize your chances of winning there. So I think this is an awesome tool. But you talked us through the adjustments. What else should we be taking note of here with this tool?
I mean, as far as the projections page, I would say let's just move on and we can go through the other pages quickly. You can click the depth chart. What that does is it just shows all of, the depth charts for every single team. This will be, updated as news comes out automatically. So that is interesting. You also notice all the different flags we have on different players. We have ones that are tagged as, fragile or injury issues or working back from an injury. There's also ones where, like Amari Cooper, Shannon and I have pointed Amari Cooper out. And so there's a tag saying that they are one of our favorite players. So there's also those tags into it. So you can look for some info from us as well. But it's a nice spot to really just dive in and look at everything as a whole. I believe this page actually is also free to view. So even if you don't have a subscription, you can come in and check our depth chart page.
Awesome. And then content, we are always coming out with best ball videos and NFL content weekly. So all the content you need to help you guys out and players that we've targeted, whether it be, who is this year's Puka Nacua, which is, that's a tall task, but we do give out some hints and some tips for your best ball drafts as well. So you can check back.
There is some, sorry to cut you off there, but there's also some written content. Ryan has his strategy guide that he put out last week. He's going to have a couple other, pieces coming out through this off season also. So it's not just our video stuff. There is written stuff there as well.
Good point. All right. ADP movers. This is a fun tab to see. Basically, this is like the stock market checking's our stocks to see how they're doing.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, you can see different time frames, and it's just going to show the biggest movers. Audric Estime has gone up a ton over the last week with Javonte Williams possibly being cut talk. And, you can just key in on everything that's been happening, not only on Underdog, on DraftKings also. There is at that top left a way to switch to DraftKings if you want, if you're using that for best ball and not Underdog. So I do want to point that out as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we have all the same stuff, on DraftKings as Underdog.
All right. And one of your favorites, I think, Tyler, is the game's heat map. This is a really cool tool. Tell us about it.
So I think this one is awesome. It shows the implied total for all the teams through playoffs, as well as who they are going to play. The best matchups are kind of highlighted in green. The worst ones are in red. So it's a little easy, to just tap on and look to see what that, looks like. It also helps you if you have this up while you're drafting and you're looking between, trying to figure between two players. You have a 49er stack already. It makes it just easier for the tiebreaker. Oh, this guy's a Ram. At least I have week 15 correlation, or Dolphins or Lions or whatever it may be, whatever correlations you're trying to figure out. And that's the huge thing here, is it just is a one-stop, super easy to look and just find yourself in the better position for your drafts, every team.
And that is awesome. And lastly, of course, our LineStar community can chime in with their thoughts on best ball. Everybody's excited for the season, so joining the LineStar conversation is always a good thing as well. So a lot of really great tools to be able to utilize during drafts, and I'm really excited for our next live draft on our YouTube channel to be able to pull this up and start dominating in my best ball drafts. I've got to catch up to you, Tyler. I got a ways to go to catch up to your total, but this is a great tool that I think is so helpful specifically to best ball, where you're always looking to, it's so dependent on, your individual, what you have so far and your kind of best ball portfolio. So this can really help you in those drafts, really cater and hone in on certain stacks and different players, and to help you get, I guess, a more diversified portfolio, which I guess is the name of the game in best ball, right?
It is a little bit. And then also just making sure, you have the right correlation and the different kind of moving factors to make each team. I think the adjustments tab is amazing. And not only does it help you make your rankings, but you can also learn a lot. You can boost the injuries, see what happens there, boost the playoffs, then see what happens there, and go through the list of rankings and see how everything moves. And it gives you an idea of what could happen throughout the season and how to make teams based on that, just because of the more correlation. I mean, if Bryce Young in Carolina is way better than expected, then the whole rankings change, and you can draft for that if you think that might happen.
And to your point, you can also edit each projection, correct? I think that's also one thing probably should add here, is that each one you're able to edit it yourself. If you can also export our projections as well and work off those, whatever helps you, or if you disagree. I like that feature as well. So you can really kind of dial in and adjust to your own personal expectations for a certain player. If you think LineStar's projection is too high or too low on a certain player, I like that feature as well, of being able to go in yourself and change it.
Yeah, and being able to export is key, because you can load your rankings straight into DraftKings or Underdog. And then
awesome.
What you will see with Underdog is there'll be my rank and then an ADP once you've loaded it. And so you can toggle between on the app between ADP and, the ranks you have made with your adjustments or whatever from LineStar. and flip back and forth between those on every pick to really figure out how you want to do it. The one thing I would caution you is if you have a guy that is, say, ranked 50, but his ADP is 80, don't take him at 50. Try and take him, closer to where his ADP is. Just know that is a guy that you really want when it comes down. And I think that's the one problem that people can get into with going too much off a ranking.
Gotcha.
You want the ADP value still, and there's no reason to take somebody 20, 30 spots before.
Well, super excited to get this rolling and up into our live best ball drafts as well. And just a really exciting day at LineStar to be able to release this to all of our subscribers. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to LineStar and go check it out. If you're interested in maybe a trial run, we have various partners. You can sign up for them, like Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Parlay Play. And if you sign up with them and use the promo code LineStar, you can get a deposit match plus 1 free month of LineStar. So that's a good way to kind of, test the waters a little bit with the LineStar app if you haven't already. And yeah, tell us how you like it. We want to hear from you guys in the comments, but pretty cool tool, Tyler. How has it worked for you so far?
I mean, it's fun. Like I said, it teaches you a lot about different correlations and where you can draft different correlations, which helps at the end of the day making the rosters. And every draft doesn't go exactly your way. You're not able to always get the WR1 with the quarterback and the WR2. Sometimes you have to go a little further down on the depth chart, and this just helps you with that. So lean into the correlations, make the best teams you can, and hopefully one of you guys wins 1.5 mil.
Let's go. So that's a look at our LineStar new best ball rankings that are out today and live. We hope you guys enjoy them. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below and we'll get back to you. Good luck in all of your best ball drafting. We'll see you guys next time on the LineStar YouTube channel.